You're listening to Purpose and Progress Pod with Ugo, a space where real stories meet growth and purpose. Let's journey into purpose together.
Hello, Echo. Welcome to my podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you here, especially as my first guest.
Wow, I'm super, honored
Okay.
to be here as well.
Yes. How have you been? Just tell us, how's Lagos treating you?
Lagos. I had someone wrote a book called "Everyone in Lagos is Crazy or
Yeah,
Mad." So
almost all the men in Lagos are mad.
Is it only men? I think everybody.
Okay.
At first, I thought that was like an exaggeration, but right now, it's kind of making a little bit of sense.
Okay.
Lagos is good, it's tough, it's bad. I think it has a mix of everything, and sometimes to the extreme. But I'm loving it. I'm loving the experience. It forces you to grow. That's one thing I'm sure of.
Yeah.
So it's either you're growing or you're literally going down.
Makes sense.
So yeah, Lagos has been cool.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
But you too, yeah. How's Lagos been?
Lagos has been good, honestly. It's been an awesome moment being here.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot of lessons, a lot that would help navigating life and
Yeah.
all that. So, but there's this phrase I always like to tell myself that you either win or you learn. So there's no failure.
Oh yeah.
So even when you feel like you fall, it's not like you're failing.
Yeah, actually.
It's you're learning.
Yes.
So you pick yourself
Yes,
up and
yes,
then
yes.
you move forward. So it's a learning journey. So that's what it is for me. Okay, so let's get straight into the why you're here. So Purpose and Progress podcast is a movement
Okay.
for young people mostly. So we're going to be having, young people come share their journey about how, they've moved from one point to another. Let them know that it's not always going to be a smooth journey when you're trying to navigate your life and your purpose. So sometimes there will be bumps. In fact, a lot of times.
A lot of
There will be
times.
bumps.
Yeah.
There will be bumps, there will be challenges. But then if you see people who have gone ahead of you and then you hear about, their journey, telling their stories, it would help you to also know that you're not alone in that path. And it can also give you certain lessons and some things you can use to navigate your way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what Purpose and Progress podcast it's about. So we're going to have series of guests, of which you're the first. Welcome once again.
Yeah.
I'm going to allow Ekoh to introduce himself, but before he does, let me just give a brief about Ekoh. So Ekoh is my friend. Yeah, he's a very good friend of mine, and so backstory, we went to the same secondary school. We were classmates.
Yeah.
From SS1 to 3, funny enough.
Yeah.
And then since then I don't think I saw you again till like lots of years later when we bumped into each other somewhere, and then later again we bumped into each other in Lagos here.
Yeah, that's true.
That was
yeah, that's true.
yeah.
We just keep bumping into each other.
into each other. But now we're no longer going to be bumping into each other. We'll be meeting each other intentionally.
Yes.
Exactly, which is
Yes.
why you're here. Okay, so Ekoh is currently a Web3 growth and marketing expert who is passionate about bridging the gap in the Web3 space. He doesn't just build brands and businesses, but people and valuable connections. His innovation, creativity, and lovely personality is one to learn from. He hosted the first DevCon meet in Lagos, Nigeria
Lagos
in
DevCon
2024.
meet,
Yeah, and then he has actually contributed to Web3 space massively with his expertise in marketing. From being a volunteer in Web3 Lagos Conference 2023 and doing most of the behind the scenes work to being one of the top organizers and a host of the Web3 Lagos Conference 2024. That was quite a journey. Victor is currently the founder of a budding community of growth experts called MGS Web3, which stands for Marketing Growth and Systems Web3 Space. Victor is an awesome communicator, and today I have him here to share his journey, his story about purpose, and all the progress he has made so far. I feel honored. Thank you so much for accepting my invite and being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So tell us about yourself.
First of all, I want to say I am happy to be here, and it's quite a honor to be like the first speaker for this podcast.
Okay.
And thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So like I think the introductions was like super exaggerated, but
Okay.
like
I
yeah,
was not exaggerating, please. Don't mind him. They're just
but
being humble.
humble, right? Yeah, but yes, I am Victor Ekoh. I am a marketing and growth lead in the Web3 space. But before the Web3 space, I've actually been into marketing and growth for like 8 years. Started from digital marketing, and I think that is consciously or subconsciously just grew consciously actually
Okay.
consciously grew from digital marketing into like other marketing roles, and yeah, I'm here now, right? And I'm focused on Web3 and loving what Web3 has to offer, the innovative opportunities, the ups and downs that the blockchain has. And I feel like Africans need to leverage on that. Like at the moment, they need to be serious and not take it for granted. Yeah, myself, I think I'm a very chill, straightforward person. I am complicated sometimes. I
We
think
cast out every spirit of complication.
no. I think when I mean complicated, it's like
Okay.
at first growing up, I used to feel like I was too complicated for myself,
Okay.
and I think that also helped me in my journey, which I had to like always self-evaluate myself and know my values, question myself, and all the ups and downs and questions I had about myself like really opened me up to know not just myself, understand people as well.
Okay.
And over the years, that helped me with relationships, helped me with communication, helped me with going into stuff like new stuff, even if I'm scared and all of that. So what I mean like I'm complicated, I feel like there's always a layer to ourselves that we need to find out.
Yeah.
It's just like a stage. It's like a stage kind of thing. At this stage, you're like, oh, this is me, and that stage, oh, I need to be another person. Oh, or in this situation, I didn't know I could do this. I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could take all these like decisions that I'm making. Or how did I even get here? Like there are moments like that when you're like, how did I get here? And yeah, I would say I'm still learning, and in that in this phase of learning, I'm at a point where, as much as I know I'm learning, I'm really happy and open to helping other people to grow because I know I'm not where I used to be. So there's always something to give out to the other people. You don't even necessarily need to be the younger person, but there are people that find it difficult to do things I have overcome. And I'm like, hey, what's up? You have done this before. So, guy, what's up? That's what it happened. Or you get my point. And don't kill yourself. So, yeah, that's a little bit about myself. I
Okay, good.
think.
So you mentioned something while you were speaking. You said something about, uncovering a layer of yourself at different stages of your life. So would you like to share something you have uncovered about yourself recently?
Recently, so you said I'm not, you covered me with the blood. It's just a bit complicated and all.
Yeah.
So, will I say recently? Okay, I think one thing is growing up. So I have like I'm the last amongst like 5 kids. So, and there was something everybody knew about me. That was when you shout on me or you say something negative about me, I just go into my shell, right? But one thing I've come to understand now at this phase of my life is I feel like when I say I'm fed up, or I didn't know I was fed up to the point that it's now obvious. Like if you shout on me or you tell me I can't do stuff, I see myself being motivated to prove you wrong.
Okay.
So I have like my direct elder sister, right? She's that person that when you double dare her, when you challenge her, when you say stuff about her, like, oh, you can't do this, or maybe my mom says something harsh, and you think she'll go into her shell. No, what's in her head is like, okay, you said this, right? Let's just see. Like I remember with her academics, like she was the top. She's that kind of, I don't say that kind of babe, but she's that kind of child that if she comes back home and you said, the person that carried first, they have two head. Next term, she's carrying that first.
Okay.
But I'm that child that when you say the person that has two head, they carry first. In my mind, I'm like, so all I did, I can't meet up. Do you get my point? Like I beat myself down. Like I just go into my emotions and all of that. But recently, with I think with all the happenings, the ups and downs, the struggles, there was a point where I would say life challenged me.
Okay.
Life challenged me, and it was like, okay, Ekoh, what do you have now? You have done your best, right? This is all you have. There's nothing good that's come out from this. What can you do now? And I didn't know where the strength came from. I didn't know, like, so I was even thanking God the other day, and I was like, God, you have finally answered my prayer, because I've always been praying and saying, God, I want to be, like, I've seen people go through stuff, like, that are not even so deep compared to what I've gone through, and I see them toughen up. Then I used to beat myself up and be like, why are you not tough? Why are you not doing this? Why, like, by now you're supposed to be like this, you're supposed to be like ruthless. What I mean ruthless, like, yeah, just about the hustle, all about, and you shouldn't have emotions, you shouldn't be caring, you should just be about the money and all of that. But this stage where I said, like, life beats me down, like, I'm like, I saw myself change, evolve. I didn't necessarily turn to become a beast or become ruthless, but I knew what I was supposed to do, and even though I was scared, I did it.
Okay.
I did it not to get accolades from people. I did it not to get recognition from people or somebody to say, oh, you did well, oh, you did bad. Because as the last child, most last children are, well, I say unfortunately, are people pleasers. They are people pleasers because it goes two ways. It's either they are really just selfish, self-centered, selfish people, or people pleasers. People pleasers in the sense that if they are, and it starts from like from their young age, or where their siblings are having issues, they want to be the one to do everything to please everybody.
Seeking for validation.
Validation. They're always looking for that. They are always like, I don't know, like I just found myself being a people pleaser. As much as I would look tough with my beards and all of that, I just noticed myself wanting to make sure everybody's smiling, and I would go through thick or thin, like do like crazy length just to make sure that person's happy. Even when I'm displeasing myself, I find a reason to tell myself, oh, the person's happy, that means I'm doing something good.
Yeah.
And when the person leaves, I'm broken. I feel sad, I feel used, I feel less, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
But back to your question, I would say I've seen myself evolve or change to becoming somebody that's not seeking that so much of validation, right? And just doing stuff that I know would make me feel proud of myself. And that counts now. That makes a whole lot of sense to me now. Yeah. I hope I was
You
able
did.
to
You did answer the question. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Okay.
Very grateful. Yeah. So just to give a bit of structure to what we're here to talk about your, your journey. I would like to know, what does purpose mean to you? When you say purpose, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, that's a very, very important question. I think everybody should ask themselves, because without it, you feel empty. Purpose is what completes a person. Sometimes, before I answer what purpose means to me, I'd also want to put it out there that there is no time, there's no set time for anybody to like be so sure of their purpose. Like there's no set time.
Okay.
In the sense like how there's no set time for marriage. And that's one thing, one mistake people don't like, they don't talk about more. Using Jesus as an example, he didn't get married, but did he fulfill purpose? Yes, he did. And there was no time where they said, as a man, you should get married by this time. As a woman, you should get married by this time. So why I had to say that? Because I struggled trying to find an answer to that. And it just, instead of me to focus on what God is saying at that moment, or what I'm doing at that moment, or what I can do at that moment to take me from point A to point B, I was beating myself up saying, oh, what's my purpose? I need to find my purpose. And I forgot about doing the work that God just gave. Like, do this. Be good at this first. Right? Go back to the question, actually. Purpose is what makes you whole. Purpose is the reason why you are alive, why you are here.
Okay.
And I think without that, no matter the money you make, I need to say this, no matter the money you make, if you're not fulfilling purpose, there's going to be a void that nothing can ever like complete or fill. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so now that we've gone past that, so I want you to, share your story, but start from the beginning. Like you mentioned you had career-wise, you had started from being a digital marketer. Yeah, so you were Web 2 marketer, then you transitioned to Web 3, and all that. So can you just walk us through that journey, how you moved from digital marketing to becoming a Web 3 growth and marketing lead?
So my journey started as what's funny is I started off first to, like, the first reason why I got a system was to become a movie editor.
Oh, interesting.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
And it it's so funny.
Yeah.
So that was how I started when it comes to like career wise. I started in like movie editing, going to sets.
Wow.
Premiere Pro. I even did one or two like acting.
Oh.
I did epic movies, and I think none of them actually made it out. I'm happy you didn't make it out.
Don't be surprised.
You'd have seen me.
We will see it one day on YouTube or somewhere.
I remember even having to go to the bush to camp.
Wow.
Yeah, going to the bush to camp, having to pass all these auditions and all the whole stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw how, please, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
It was a horrible experience and also a good one.
Okay.
Like horrible in the sense that it was just my first time, but you can't take away what you learn from those experiences, no matter how bad it may have seemed them.
Yeah.
There's a stage you get to and you just thank God you passed through them, because without that you'll be lost.
Yeah.
You'll be empty. I don't know. There's something that happens, like everything adds up at the end.
Yes.
Everything adds up. So movie, then went into development, coding.
Oh.
And about coding. So when I was done with first of all, in school, secondary school, I struggled all through. School, like me and book was like, no. Like we're far apart. And I just told myself that, man, that's just it. So I didn't put effort again. I think I gave up, when I say I gave up, I knew I wasn't good at it.
Okay.
So I was just basically freestyling. When people are reading, I'm cracking jokes. I'm there to disturb.
You were channeling your energy to something
else,
yeah,
because I couldn't just sit back
yeah.
there and just follow them. And when I try, it doesn't work out. And so after that, I went to university now. I tried to get university, didn't get it. I wanted to learn tailoring. Personally, I wanted to go into tailoring. My mom was like, "No, if you go learn tailoring, if you see money, you never go to school. I know you never go to school." And I was stubborn. I had already gotten a place I'll go and learn. And she had to even like report me to my uncle, and they had this family meeting. And that's how my tailoring career had to end.
Wow.
But moving forward, I went to FET Mina, did remedials, left there. Long story short, after my ND, that was when I started, I think, coding, full-time coding. When I went to the code school, my tutor then was I think it was God sent, because nobody else would have taught me what that guy taught me, because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe that someone like me that wasn't good in quotes academically, like could code. And there was something he said. He said, coding is just like every other skill that people learn.
Okay.
Take tailoring, for example. And that's why it stuck. He said, every day you go to a tailoring shop and you paddle. Every day you watch your boss cut a dress or a suit or whatever. It is what that memory just sticks. It becomes a second nature without you thinking about it too much. So he told me to just keep on showing up, keep on opening your system, keep on clicking, keep on making that same mistake over and over again. And that really just boosted, like, it just gave me a lot of energy. And I was like, hey, you know what? Let's stop comparing ourselves with these other people and just start learning everything one by one, like tailoring. Like, and that was like an eye opener for me. So I approached every other skill from the lens of tailoring, which is just keep on paddling. Show up today, paddle. Show up tomorrow, paddle. Don't compare. Even though, let's say our school systems had to compare us first, second, third. That we had to change that. Do you get my point? That mindset of being compared to someone else. It's not a competition. It's not a sprint.
It's
a marathon. Yes, and we have different like you can't imagine who was carrying first, what he's doing with his life and what I'm doing with mine.
Very different parts.
Very different.
Very
like
different parts.
You're excelling here, is excelling there. Like there's nothing correlating the two of you at all.
Position,
Exactly. So that really helped me going on, and like, okay, I started coding. Ekoh is coding. What are you saying? Are you serious? And before you know, I started teaching.
Oh wow!
I started teaching people because that was even one thing. Like, so because I went to the first code school, right, and I loved the hub. I kept staying there. I don't know if you have heard of Collab. It's a tech hub in Kaduna. Yes. So it was 2017. I think 2017. Yes. So I kept on coding. I joined him. So when new guys come in, at least I know setup, right? So I'm the one teaching them about setup, and now they're looking at me as the bad guy, the senior guy in the code stuff. I'm like, cool. And I started teaching people how to set up their system, how to have their Visual Studio up, and all of that. Before you know, the next cohort, I was assisting him to teach other people that same code.
Wow.
And I was like, Ekoh, you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
I was struggling, but the struggle wasn't as bad as it was when I started.
Obviously.
There's some things that were just second nature. It was so common.
Yeah.
Right? Before, when I opened the Visual Studio, it's just chaos. As soon as I see it, my heart starts racing. I'm scared of clicking a button that would explode the whole world. I don't know. The fear of making mistake was one big issue for me. Right? And so that's why I would most times move to my playful side and nonchalant side, so people don't see I'm scared. Do you get my point? It was like a coping mechanism. So instead of me to look serious, I'll play.
Okay.
So if you play and you make mistake, it looks like he's not serious. Do you understand?
Oh my God.
Like he's not serious.
But we're not surprised.
Yeah, we're not surprised. The guy is not serious. But in my mind, I was like, okay, that for you to be serious and you fuck up, better you.
True.
And so from there, I went for then an opportunity came Kaduna, CAD ICT. Click on Kaduna, that's what they called it. Click on Kaduna, it was a 6 months program. The first one, it was Kaduna State Government, Rockefeller Foundation, and World Bank that was having a scholarship program that lasted for 6 months. So we had to upload our videos and all of that, and I got in. So it was still web development. So I was part of the web developers for like 6 months. And after the program, unfortunately for us, we didn't get jobs. There were no jobs that, even though we had like promises that, okay, you had stuff and all of those stuff didn't happen, right? But we already had those skills. So I was hunting for a job, and somebody in that program said, hey, Ekoh, there's a company that's looking for people with tech skills and all of that. Would you come for an interview and all of that? Like, yeah, sure. So I went there, wanting to be employed as a web developer.
Yeah.
And long story short, I was asked if I was a fast learner. I said yes. Went to an interview. You say yes now. Are you a fast learner?
Yes,
of course.
Of course, I'll be
I want
fast
to
learner.
anything. and they said, okay, we'll give you two weeks to see how good you are. If you are good, we'll give you the job.
Okay.
And in 2 weeks, the job was to become a digital marketer. Exactly. How? Now, the company was like, first of all, this guy was looking for money. This guy was looking for money. This guy didn't want to go back without a job. This guy had grinded for months, years, and he didn't have any job. It was becoming frustrating. And there's this opportunity that they'll pay you money you have not seen before. And I was coding. Remember, code is abstract. Digital marketing to most people, or to me then, was just literal. Just literal. Yeah. Click here or say no, this is a good thing, buy it or not.
Yes.
So I was like, if I can learn abstract, which is code, a literal thing shouldn't give me so much issues, right? So I jumped on it, and I learned digital marketing like I was learning a code program, like staying up all night, watching videos. And then when I even submitted the videos they sent to me to watch and learn, and say, you are done? I said, yes. And the guys are okay. And 2 weeks, I passed it. I got paid. I was like, hey, oh boy, this is that children's something.
Oh, wow.
You understand? And I think after I got paid, I found I was good at it. I wanted to be coding and also doing marketing at the same time. So for a while I did try, but our audience was a company that wasn't, our audience were like foreigners. It was a worldwide, we're doing like worldwide shipping.
Oh, okay.
So we're not selling to Nigerians. I don't think we're even selling to Africans. We're selling to people from Kuwait, US, UK, like heavy spenders. And we're selling a luxury, it was a luxury brand.
Oh, okay.
So there was a lot of need to be very clean, very luxurious and all of that. And I was getting it. I was getting those points. I was giving them everything they needed, right? And I was just getting those accolades from my teammates, from my boss. Gradually, I just started moving into marketing. And I think finding out that was more me, that was very original. Like, I could market, as soon as I open up my eye, there's a marketing issue. I don't know how the solution comes. It just comes. It just comes easily. So from there, worked with other companies, worked with Nigerian companies. Then I think it's just like stages. Like when you're good at digital marketing, you start closing. I did affiliate marketing as well. I did like closing the other company where I became the supplier success lead. That's a share sell. I remember when I was working at the first company, it was low key. We just get these deals. We didn't want it because it wasn't Nigerian or African in any way. So we just kept it low key because we didn't even want other people to know that we're selling those kind of stuff. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
So we did great. Black Friday, I remember we hit a very big milestone of Black Friday. It was crazy. We were super happy.
Wow.
And yeah, I worked as a supplier success lead, where I had to travel down to Lagos, and I was in a hotel. I had people taking me around to meet suppliers. These are wholesalers, all these importers. So I had to learn how to speak to people face to face and close, close deals and all of that. And yeah, I think then, being the supplier success lead, from there I had to now become an acting growth manager, like the head of the marketing team. And from there, I've always just become either the lead or in marketing and all of that. And how I moved into Web3 was, I found that there was a scholarship for 4 months to be a Web3 developer.
Okay.
In my mind, I was like, so Web3 is new, right? Is a new space.
Yeah.
And don't forget, I was scared of learning code before, but as soon as I broke that barrier, there was that belief that you can learn anything. And you're doing marketing, yes, that's because you're good, right? You're leading teams. Why? Because you're good. Because there's always that nagging, that voice telling you, are you sure it's not a fluke? Do you get my point?
Yeah.
You're just lucky. You're just lucky, guy. That's a fluke. Don't put yourself for there. Oh. You know, that kind of thing.
Before you flop.
There's always that. Then I would hear that voice saying you're a fluke. I'm like, okay. And I think one day I said to myself, if it was a fluke, then I'm one of the luckiest people in this world.
Yeah.
Do you get my point? Like, there's what they call ROI. They're intelligent people around you, right? They have figured you out, right?
Yeah.
If you're a fluke.
Exactly.
They have figured you out. Then I'm like, okay. So anyway, it was like a 4 months program. I applied. I was not qualified for it. During the interview, I was straightforward, truthful, and I think one question that I asked the interviewer, because the interviewer told me, you are not qualified for this and all of that. And I said, thank you. And they asked me for one question. Do you have a question? The question they asked was, do you have a question for us? And I said, yes. And he was like, okay, go ahead. And I said, is your program for already made developers or people that are willing to stay up all night and all day to make sure they learn whatever it is your program has to offer? And the interviewer was silent for a while. And he said, okay, we're not looking for ready-made. We're looking for people that are not there yet, but are willing to learn. I said, thank you. I believe I will be in luck. And that was the end of the call. And cut the long story short, I didn't believe I had it, that I got in, but I did, finally did. And during the program,
Okay, so before you get into from Web 2 to Web 3, but it's like while you've been speaking, I just like something that has stood out for me from like where you started from to where you are now is the fact that you kept showing up.
Yes. Oh my God.
You kept showing up. There was not a time of let me just self-pity, wallow in self-pity. I'm not good. God. So because a lot of us we have those moments where you just want to just pity yourself.
You just want to hide.
I'm not good in this, I'm not good in that, let me just sit down. And nobody will appreciate me. Nobody will notice. Let me just be on my lane, kind of. And then there's so much inside of you, because if you were not coming out, you wouldn't have found out like you were good at marketing
at all.
You would have not known. So, but because you showed up,
yes,
opportunities began to come.
Yes.
So, but if you didn't bring yourself out there, if you didn't put yourself out there, from learning how to code, even though that was not like what you wanted at that time, but you showed up, and then you went there, you did that, you learned that, and then when the time came for you to go into this new role, which was something you were not sure about. You still showed up. You still went there.
I feel one thing that needs to be said is every day I showed up, every time I showed up, I was scared. every single time I showed up, there was self-doubt. I was battling that.
And it's okay. Like,
It's fine. It's
actually
normal. It's
okay.
part of the routine. Yeah, like, oh my God. I feel there are times when I will be talking and I will feel my body shaking and I'll pocket my hand.
Yeah.
And when I pocket my hand, the camera will capture it that this guy is so comfortable.
Yeah. Oh,
He
okay.
just wants to flex. He's too
Yeah.
proud. But I am there shivering.
You're the
like,
only one that knows what's going on.
I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, Holy Spirit, help me. So, okay, going back to that, where I learned that trick of saying, my mom taught me that, always saying, Holy Spirit, help me.
Yeah.
And because I was also a chorister, I was opportune to stand in front of the crowd, face fears, face stage fright, face forgetting your lines, face freezing on stage.
Yeah.
I had seen that, I've done that, it has happened to me. I have felt it, and I'm still alive. So when I meet those kind of things now, I'm like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
That has not happened before.
Yeah.
Okay, happened. Did I die? No. Okay. But now they know Ekoh does that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So now when I go to conferences or there's speaking engagement, people can't wait for me to speak. You hear people reach out to me like,
Yeah.
Ekoh, how do you do this? Like, Ekoh, you just cut the whole crowd. Everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm literally, I'm like,
Yeah, in your mind, you're being yourself.
yes, and myself. And I'm like, maybe why I'm not scared. Okay, maybe my own level of stage fright has gone so low that you can't see it, that sometimes I even forget it. It's because I have done it over, I have failed at it.
Exactly.
I have, do you know one secret I've come to understand about success is that you have to fail. You have to fail. Like, failing is part of the criteria to success. They don't say that a lot. Like, people don't shout on you that you fail. Like, I feel like when you fail, people should congratulate you.
Of course.
You're like, you failed. You tried this and you failed.
you failed.
Wow, nice. Now let's go for the second one.
Exactly.
Like, failure is part of the criteria. If you don't fail, oh my God, and you go up, you will go down.
Yeah.
Like, okay, sorry for this, but there was a short, there was a time we had a Twitter space. So when I was working with the Web3 company,
Yeah.
big company and all of that, everybody recognized. When we called for the first space, we had like 1,000 people even show. The time we even like we're trending on the Gulf Twitter space, we're trending. In Nigeria, I'm like, I'm a bad guy, oh, Ekoh is doing good. Like, do you know that you're trending? Because we also did like a little some marketing strategies and all to make us trend and all of that. And I'm like, we're trending, literally, look at that trending. Can you imagine? We're like fourth, second, and first. I'm like,
Wow.
I was super impressed. I was super hyped. Then another time, I had to now host Twitter Spaces where we were less than 20, and I was still Ekoh.
Yeah.
There was still energy. There was still the vibe. There was still the passion. There was still the me there.
Yeah.
And after that event or the space, someone reached out. I'm like, Ekoh, how do you do that? I'm like, I started from the ground. Like, it's not like before the Twitter space, I've hosted events where just a couple of people come around. I had to speak.
Yeah.
I've done events where people didn't show up. I don't know whether you get my point.
Yeah.
Like, people didn't show up. The only good thing about the event was that there was a presentation that happened. And you had to rely on the energy on that presentation, not the people, not the crowd, not the validation, just you and what you had to put out
There's
there.
a purpose for it. You're like, that's.
I don't know whether you get my point. So it wasn't new, it wasn't shocking, it wasn't surprising.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, today people did not show.
Yeah.
Next one, people will show.
Of course.
Shikina. I don't know whether you get my point. Magana Yakari.
Exactly.
Nothing bigger than that. Nothing.
Yeah.
But there are people that so that's the reason why starting small and failing is good. It won't hit you, like it won't hit you till you fall, because it's no longer a new thing.